What's up? Hello, everybody. My name is what you are watching, a political vigilante. It is Sunday, December 22nd. We are going live. Much to discuss this afternoon. Ho. Let's see what we got going on, everybody. Let's see what we got going on. Hello, Smiths, Jesus Zamora, Sam Dean, what's up? Joe, Ernie, Lynn, Karen M, Backyard Politics, Rachel Mary Wynn. Hello, sorry for being late, everybody. It's a little too cold to surf. I was going to go swim laps at the pool. The pool was closed, and I had to come back, go on a bike ride. Everything got nutty. Weed Vegan, what's up? Alfredo, Techno Redfish, Tetris Fame, Stacy Edwards. Oh, another delightful vegan smoothie, ladies and gentlemen. As per usual, unsweetened organic almond milk, half a frozen organic banana, a handful of frozen organic strawberries, some of the power greens, as I talk about, which is spinach, spirulina, and kale, frozen. Little spoonful, maybe a tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon this time, of unsweetened organic peanut butter, scoop of vegan protein powder, and away we go. What dingo ate me, baby? Hello. Short River, Jennifer Rankin, Stephanie D'Angelo. Ooh, brain freeze, brain freeze. Stop it right now. Oh my God. Could you please wish Michelle a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Michelle. Chia seeds. You know, I put chia seeds in my cereal every morning. I've done it in my smoothies a little bit. I like it on my cereal. So for breakfast, I just have raw oats, chia seeds, raw almonds, and some unsweetened organic almond milk. And then a gluten-free English muffin. Hello from down under. Hello, everybody down under. What year is it down under? Is it 2025? Bernie's running, just got elected for a second term. The Green New Deal is taking effect and climate change is being reversed. Well, tell Austin, thank you, Michelle. Oh, I made her day. Well, you made my day. 74 people watching, 22 likes, hit the like button. Hello, Cat B. You know what? When you guys come and watch me and support the show, you make my day. We had a great live stream. Hey, Kathy Link, so many great Aussies here. You made some great friends. Yeah, I love Australia and definitely want to come back. And I'm the fact so at the Bernie rally yesterday, AOC talked about the fires in Australia and how serious it is and how serious we need, a Green New Deal. Like it was important that she brought that up. Merry Christmas, Sam Dean. Yeah, I don't have a wine cave. I got a bat cave. And the only billionaire down in that bat cave is Bruce Wayne, making Gotham great again. Can you please get the Aussies to rise up and get rid of scumbag ScoMo? Yeah. I want to thank everybody. So I'll say this. I shot a bunch of stuff at the rally yesterday. I'm going to be dropping those clips. Some of the lesser known people, I'll probably just put those on Patreon. And the AOC, Tim Robbins gave a great speech, and AOC and Bernie. I had some tech issues in the middle of Bernie's speech, so I got to get some of that. I saw Fee from convo couch there, so I'm going to get it from her, but I'll be posting that. Hello, Mickey Morgan from Cincinnati. Oh, I'm glad you make my day. People canvassing for Bernie came by my house today. They tried telling me about how great Bernie was, and I was like, I know. And here's some other reasons why Bernie's great. That's fantastic. The fires may be being used against us to move regional families into dense cities. Yeah, God. Fan of fanfics. Hey, Graham, can't donate anything today. Don't get paid till Thursday. Not everyone can afford a wine cave after all. No worries. Any way you can support me, I appreciate it. I understand money's tight. I understand it's the holidays and the end of the year. Yes, I need support from you because I don't have any corporate backing, but I totally get it. And there's a lot of free ways to support the show. One of which is to just put this stream out on your social media right now that we're live. It brings more people to it. The more numbers we get, the better. We got 100 watching, 41 likes. Another thing is hit the like button. Whenever you watch my videos, and look, make sure you hit the bell notification button. But even when you do that, YouTube might not notify you. So just always, follow me on Twitter. That's where I post my videos every time I drop a new one, and just check back on my channel. And when you watch it, let the ads play through, open up a separate browser window if need be. Don't click skip ad. When you do that, I don't get paid. And and even put comments in the comment section, even just a thumbs up or a smiley face, something quick. All those little things, those help the analytics of the show. Ray Foley, what's up? All right. Drinking your vitamins. Yes, I am. Hello, Catherine. Graham, you have to help me. It's a matter of thousands of suffering people. Okay, Mickey. What's that about? I'm not sure. No, Tulsi is not paying Jimmy. Bats drink wine? No, they don't. Slurp. Please tell everyone that hip replacements and poison your entire body with cobalt shads from the failed metal thing. It's like arsenic. Okay, I don't know much about that, but I'm gonna move smoothie. I'm sorry I'm making all this noise with the slurping. I always forget about that, but there's a microphone right here. They're quiet drinking. I'm quietly drinking. Don't trust him. He's in the pocket of big veggies. Look, I had some people from Big Veggie into my plant cave, and I don't know why I'm being ostracized for that. I don't know what I did wrong. Billionaires have rights too? Oh, God, Jane Lynch. That drove me nuts. 122 people watching, 55 likes. Please hit the like button, everybody. Let me bring up another window here. Oh, boo, 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 boo. I've been listening to a lot of Christmas music, so I just hear a lot of like, a lot of Bing Crosby and Dean Martin talking, oh, we'll be together. Here we go. Here we go. Ho. Lab control room. Where is it? Why is this such a thing to have? It's such a pain in the ass. You want a watch page? No, we don't want that. We don't want that. Why is this a problem? Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. You're watching me fumble around on the internet like a 90-year-old. They're not caves. Caves are natural. They're not tunnels either. Tunnels have two ends. Technically, they're wine holes. That's what you should call them. You wine hole. Ugh, what a wine hole. Man, if I got to listen to one more wine hole. Such a wine holy thing to say. Wine hole. Oh, bless you. Don't be such a wine hole. God. But anyone that's like a rich corporate Democrat backer is a wine hole. We just coined a new term. Highlight of the live stream, wine hole. Book it. Say it all the time. Jane Lynch, call her a wine hole. Why you gotta be such a wine hole, dude? God. Such a wine hole. Such a wine hole. So sick of the wine holes. They're just a bunch of wine holers. I don't need their wine holy nonsense. All right. Let's do, here we go. This is the page. Oh, YouTube just keeps changing everything. It gets so annoying. Jarrett Lloyd. Shave your knuckles for justice, Jared. Thank you for not being a wine hole. Wine holes do not make Gotham great. Okay, that's my 2020 stance. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you, everybody. I will be in Hawaii. Jimmy's doing a live show the 27th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wine holes are like opinions. Everyone's got one. Oh God, now you sound like one of my high school football coaches. Excuses are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Run a lap, Elwood. Anytime someone be late and had an excuse. Hold on. Oh, come on, robots. Elijah Freeman. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice, Elijah Freeman. Have you noticed Tulsi blackout mainstream poll graphics shows like Trevor Noah mentioning Kamala and Corey, but not Tulsi? Oh yeah, that was really evidence. And Ron and I talked about this when we did the post-debate live stream. And I'm going to take, you can watch the whole stream is available, but I'm also, I've got a new editor that I'm going to be using just for stuff like that, who's cut up like 8 clips from that. I'm going to be dropping them this week. And that is the thing we talked about. And this is why I liked Tulsi's present vote for the impeachment. When I first saw it, I was like, oh man, is that a cop-out? And then I read her reason for it. And I went, oh, that's really a sound reason. And I don't agree with AOC. There's a lot about AOC I like, and she's only been in Congress not even a full year, and she gave a really good speech yesterday. I don't think she should call out Tulsi like that. I don't think it's a reason to like, wow, AOC's the worst. I don't think it's a reason for that. Because I go on track record, you know. Someone has proven they've been a real progressive for a long time, and then they do something I don't agree with, that's fine. And we shouldn't be fighting on the left. We shouldn't be. It's bad. All that does is give the Neratandans and the ruling class, they're happy when they see the true left progressives fighting with each other. Having debates, a healthy debate is a good thing. We all want the same things. Debating how we get there, I'm all for it. That's why I like this show. Sometimes you guys bring up stuff that I hadn't thought of, or maybe I don't agree with, or we have a healthy debate, that's good. But oh, fuck you, I'm right, you're wrong, that doesn't help anybody. That helps the ruling class. That's who that helps, actually. But yes, and Ron and I talked about this. I do think it was a mistake for her to miss the debates because nobody mentioned her name. Nobody. Andrew Yang was like, other people of color. Kamala, Corey, didn't mention Castro, didn't mention Tulsi. Tulsi's name was not mentioned at all. So I think if her tactic was, I want to boycott to send a message, they just squelched her message. They just quieted her message down. And she needed to be on that stage. She really needed to be on that stage. And she shouldn't, if she qualifies for the next one, she absolutely needs to be in it because her voice is important. And it's important, as I've said, Bernie is going to pick her as his VP. So like when I see online like Bernie and Tulsi supporters fighting with each other, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. And all that does is play into the hands of like the Buttigieg and the Liz Warren and the neoliberals. That's all it does. You know, to say this is why I'm picking Tulsi over Bernie or Bernie over Tulsi, these are my reasons, that's fine. That's fine. There's a lot about Tulsi I like. There's a lot. And there's things to be critical of. And we should be critical of the politicians we support and like. There's a lot about Bernie I like, obviously, and we should be critical of him. I loved on the debates how they called him out. You voted for the war in Afghanistan. He said, yep. And one person, Barbara Lee, she was the only one who was right. I was wrong. He just said it. I was wrong. No backpedal excuse. He goes, I was wrong. So they are completely squelching Tulsi. She's if you're anti-war, they're going to either smear you or try to shut you up, and they've done both to her. So all the more reason she needs to be, like Hillary Clinton gave Tulsi a gift in calling her a Russian asset, because then Tulsi got to go on. She got like a week or two worth of free ad time, basically, calling Hillary a career warmonger, which was beautiful. Sparky, what's up, Sparky? Boom, look at it. Most of high school and college is a colossal waste of time. I'm all for free education as long as education is taking place. Well, that's a good point. I mean, look, free college, free public, look, is a good thing, again, but we need reforming our education system, absolutely. Like, I like ranked choice voting, but there's still so many more things we need to do to our election process. California used to have free, if you were a resident in the state of California, the public colleges were free. So part of the free college thing and investing more money in education and having a more educated population overall is a very good thing. Can we discuss and even debate things to reform about our education system? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, there's a lot of things we should be doing, but this is the richest country in the history of the world. So we have the money to do it. We have the money to have a really first-rate public school system. That's what the American dream was all about. Free public education, which a lot of countries don't have. And that was part of the upward mobility, the American dream. You go to school, that's free, you work hard, you can advance. You can move up in life. That was the American dream, which has been eviscerated. But part of it is eroding education so that it's unaffordable. And the people who do get to go are taught, how to just be worker bees. There's a lot of really new forward-thinking ideas happening in the education space, just like green energy, in the sense that there's a lot of, hey, Action for Assange is here, what's up? Hello, Taylor. I'm wearing your Action for Assange bracelet, and then this is the free Assange that I got from, I think it was at the show in this was either Sydney. Yeah, this was Sydney. This was People for Assange, I believe. Sydney, or was it Adelaide? Assange people came out to every show. Anyway, wherever I got the black one, thank you, you're awesome. This is what I got in Chicago. So it's from People for Assange. Okay. Yes, and it was in Sydney. All right. People for Assange in Sydney. People for Sydney in Assange? What? I just keep butchering this. But getting back to what Sparky was saying about the education thing. So in the same way, like, there's already great green energy in place. It just needs money and mass production and I think I've read and seen some great things about different styles of education, because our education system was created back during the Industrial Revolution in the late 1800s. It was like teaching people how to be shift workers, and we need to update it. We need to update our education system. We need to update our grid, our electrical grid. We need to do our voting machines. Everything needs to be updated. So that's a good point. So Sparky writes here again, shave your knuckles for justice. A typical farmer with little or no education in the 20s knew shitloads more about economics than modern day economics majors. Yeah. Well, that's a good point too, is then this is part of the like neoliberal problem is then the like elitism. Oh, I have a college degree. I'm better than the working class person or the farmer that doesn't have a formal education. When I think we should educate everybody. And we could learn a lot from the farmer. We could learn a lot from the working class person. We could learn a lot from the small business owner. And just because someone has a big fancy degree doesn't mean they're smarter or better. I think a more educated electorate, but this is by design to keep us distracted, divided, and afraid, and uneducated. It's like it's easy to propagandize people when you don't give them a good education. So, yeah, I'd like to see all of those. Just free college doesn't just, oh, we fixed it, but it's a starting point, and it's a thing that because that's a free and a free thinking and thriving democracy should be highly educated. And not just book smart and degrees, but like everything. You know, the farmer should read Death of the Liberal Class, just like the person who, you know, went to an Ivy League school should read that. So anyway, great discussion, man. Great thing to bring up. Gotta go, but hopefully I'll be back before the end of the show. All right, fan, you got it. Have you ever done a segment on the evolution of the labor movement in U.S. history or interview a person who knows about it? I've done a little bit about that, but yeah, there's definitely more I could do about it. I've talked about it. I reference Death of the Liberal Class a lot because Chris Hedges goes into what happened in the 20s and 30s and the labor movement, how powerful it was, and then how they've been basically trying to get rid of it, and why because unions were great at organizing, and they were great at organizing. You know, unions would start backing social movements, civil rights. You know, had a lot of union involvement in it, women's rights, all that stuff. So that's one of the reasons they're like, oh, we got to get rid of these unions. But I would like to do more about that. I have talked about it for sure on the show, but I definitely could do more. Krillin876, shave your knuckles for justice. Why are you waiting so long to come back to NYC? Look, we're coming back in June or September, August. I can't remember. Because we just want to get to a lot of places. Look, we had a great time in New York City. I mean, that was our best ticket sales ever, and it was on a Monday night. So we already have a date booked for, I think, September. We're just trying to spread it out, do like one weekend a month of like 3 nights. And we're trying to get to some cities we haven't been to before, and then getting back to cities where we did well. But don't worry, we'll be back. September. Majin Bull 17, shave your knuckles for justice. Covering Jimmy Savile, Epstein type character. No, I have not yet. And many of you in the UK have brought up Jimmy Savile and his relation to the royal family, and probably has connections to Epstein. So I haven't gotten enough information on that. The sad reality is going into the Epstein stuff is it shows how big and pervasive this global sex trafficking multi-billion dollar businesses. It's horrible. So everyone's like, hey, there's Jimmy Savile, there's this person, there's this, and it's pretty horrific. I will, and you're not the first person to bring it up, and I appreciate you bringing it up again. I just need to get some sort of, I guess if I had some concrete articles on it is a good starting point for me, and getting a history on that is helpful. Thank you, though. Kate, shave your knuckles for justice. Is it too late to change it to Weinstein? I don't know if it is too, maybe, because Winehole is so great. Weinstein's good, but Winehole for me is like, oh, it just sums up rich, billionaire privilege, buying access to politicians in a wine cave makes you a wine hole. Love it. Majin Bull 17, shave your knuckles for justice. TYT only looks honest because MSNBC, Fox, CNN exist. Yep, that's absolutely true. It's a bummer how more to the center TYT has gone. It's really just flat out backing Liz Warren, not mentioning Tulsi or being critical of her, kind of backing Bernie, but not. It's a bummer, man. It's a full-on bummer. Keith M., shave your knuckles for justice. I see 2020 as a sea change year. We'll get a progressive president, or people will realize how badly the system is rigged and get in the streets. Yeah. It might be both. Like, let's say Bernie gets the nomination and he beats Trump head-to-head, which we think he will, with a VP like either Nina or Tulsi. Because if Bernie gets the nomination, here's why, going back to the seeing people fight online about Bernie and Tulsi supporters fighting online is ridiculous. Because if Bernie gets the nomination, if Tulsi's not his VP, she will be in his cabinet, either Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, something. They're friends. They've got each other's backs. Like, the fighting among is just you're playing into the hands of the ruling class. So I cannot say that enough. But it could be both. Like, let's say Bernie gets the nomination, and we all know he will beat Trump head to head, and then the democratically controlled Congress, some of them won't back Bernie. Some of them will. But when he really tries to go progressive, then he'll go do what he did with the Stop Bezos Act. He got Jeff Bezos to raise his minimum wage for his employees to $15 an hour just by going on the news and saying, I have the Stop Bezos Act. The Stop Bezos Act never passed. Like, it never became a law. Bezos was just afraid and did it. So that's what Bernie will do when he's president. He'll do what FDR did with the fireside chats. He'll say, look, I want to get this done. These are the people blocking me. And some of them will be Democrats. And people will flood their representatives' phone lines and town hall meetings and go to their offices, their local offices, and be like, what the hell is this? And people might have to take to the streets in peaceful, nonviolent resistance. It might be both. Yeah, AOC can't be VP. She is too young. That's correct. Bernie and Tulsi supporters want the same things, but may have different priorities. Bernie is very strong on Medicare for all, and Tulsi has a great foreign policy. Yeah, there's a great point, Taylor, which is why they are the perfect team. It's great. And they would work really well together. And I think that's what Bernie and Tulsi supporters should be doing, rather than fighting with each other on Twitter. Just do hashtag Bernie Tulsi 2020. Just start getting that message out there. Get that message out there. And say we want the same things, Yeah, that's a great way to put it. The priorities are different. She's for pardoning Julian Assange, which is a good thing. His Medicare for all plan is the best. Her single player plus is it's good. His is the best. His Green New Deal is the best. And her foreign policy is really good. I mean, they're the perfect team. I think we should start pushing that message, all of us. Push that all on. When you see two people fighting about it, say, we all want the same things. Their priorities are a little different, and they should work together, and they're going to that's the perfect ticket. Bernie Tulsi 2020. It's a perfect ticket. Hashtag Bernie Tulsi 2020. Yeah, AOC is too young to be VP. You got to be 35 years old to be president, which you also be 35 years old to be VP. So you have to be able to step into that. So she's too young. She's 28 or 29. So she's a good 6-7 years away. So Bernie Tulsi, he wins 2 terms. Tulsi wins in 2028 with AOC as her VP. Boom, shakalaka. Green New Deal, planet saved, everybody wins. Vegan guns. What? What did that make sense? Trump Tulsi 2020. That's ridiculous. We can manufacture consent among the political class by pushing Bernie Tulsi 2020. Put that out there, guys. This is the thing I've talked about before. Look, I know I got a little show here, and it feels like, there's 248 viewers, 141 likes. Hit the like button. But they have a big, powerful propaganda machine. They spend money on not only bots, but also blue check people, actual human beings, pushing the corporate divide and conquer warmongering narrative. So we need to plant that seed on our social media with our friends and family. Bernie Tulsi's unbeatable. They're a great ticket. Start pushing that. Buttigieg, there's no people of color going to vote for Buttigieg. And Warren's beginning to lose that. Biden, these polls, I don't know, they just send out a poll to people who have, Joe Biden stickers on their Buicks or something, and they all like him. I don't know where they're getting these numbers. And talk about how that ticket is unbeatable. Talk about how that ticket is unbeatable. Look, we're about 45 days away from the Iowa caucuses or something like that. So, and Bernie's in the lead in Iowa. He's in the lead in New Hampshire. I mean, he's no strong fourth place like Wine Cave Pete, but so it's up to us. We got to help push the narrative on our social media. And you might push something out and you only got 15 people like it or watched it or whatever, but it's something. This is who we're up against. Billions of dollars and just a slicked up infrastructure, but we can help change that narrative. Look, the Green Party has been talking Green New Deal since 10 years. AOC was the first one to get it out publicly. So now everyone's talking Green New Deal. Bernie was the only one 4 years ago talking about, back then it was called single payer, but now everyone's talking Medicare for all. Everyone knows they have to do it. So we can help push that. The politicians, they work for us, and we need to let them know this is what we want. So start pushing that. Bernie Tulsi 2020. Or Tulsi Bernie, whatever. But put those two names together, 2020. Did you see Jordan Cherichin's story about South Bend cops reenacting from Django Unchained while arresting a black man? Yes, I did see that. I can't remember if I retweeted it or not. And but yeah, Jordan, I like Status Quo. He does some good work, man. Yeah, Klobuchar is in a strong 5th place. Yeah, Bernie is the best on Med for All. Tulsi is the best on ending the wars. Bernie Tulsi 2020. Politicians don't work for you. They never have and never will. Yeah, I know who they really, but Bernie and Tulsi don't take corporate money. This is the thing. Let the people in Bernie's campaign and the people in Tulsi's campaign know we want them together. Let them know that. Let them know that. Yeah, Tulsi doesn't understand MMT. It's okay. Bernie does. He's got Stephanie Kelton. When I interviewed Stephen Hale, MMT instructor in Adelaide, Australia, he said Bernie should not bring up MMT because it's too big of a pill to swallow. So it's fine. It's fine. That's the thing. They all got their pluses and minuses, and that's what you bring a ticket together for, to construct a message that comes out of the White House and a platform and policy that is the White House's agenda. And a Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard White House would have an amazing agenda for all of the things we're talking about. Graham, you should do a video on why Bernie and Tulsi teaming up would be great 2020 ticket. Yeah, I will. Actually, that's a great idea. I'll do that. Graham, Australia is running out of water and burning down. California is burning down. What the fuck are we going to do about these people that are sniffing and disrupting change? Revolution time. No, it's as I said at the top of this stream. Maybe you hadn't clicked on yet. AOC yesterday at the Bernie speech in Venice, on Venice Beach, brought up the fires in Australia, and this is for real. You know, we just had an awful fire season. Now it's the rainy season in California, so the fires go out, but it's we need to talk about this. We need to, this is serious, and this could be, look, next year this could start in California. Look, the fire season in Australia started months earlier. It usually starts around January, but this year it started in September, and it just keeps burning and keeps burning, and that could happen in California. It could start in July and June and just burn all through the summer, and they got to evacuate San Francisco. They got to evacuate LA. Like, that could happen. So we need to talk about this. That's why I push so hard for Bernie, because of the Green New Deal. Because if we don't reverse climate change, it's over. Everything else ends. It's over. It's over. So all these other issues are very important. Freedom of speech, ending the wars are important for climate change. Protecting people like Julian Assange is important for climate change, because if we can't get the truth out there, then how can people know? All very important. It comes down to, we have less than 10 years to drastically alter the entire planet. And if we don't do it, it's over. It's that, we need to be that clear. We need to conduct ourselves as though there's a meteor coming towards the planet that's going to kill us all. That's why, like, Bernie, Tulsi fighting online, guys, we're all together. She's for the OFF Act. He's got his Green New Deal. Bernie, Tulsi 2020. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice, Sparky. Militant racist Woodrow Wilson started the whole mandatory education thing to indoctrinate the masses so they could be compliant worker slaves. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. That was part of it. It's again why I talk about, when I was saying earlier, free college doesn't just fix the problems. We need to come up with more creative ways of revamping our education system. You know, I mean, if I was president, like, Noam Chomsky's Manufacturing Consent and studying about Fred Hampton and reading Death of the Liberal Class, these would be required readings, man, required. Kill Kenny B. Shave your knuckles for justice, Kill Kenny. 288 watching, 174 likes. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. All I want for Christmas is for the UN to monitor the U.S. Democratic primary. Maybe Venezuela could help us figure out how to audit a polling station. Oh, man. Wouldn't that be great if the UN monitored our elections and we had an outside entity monitoring our elections, and they would come back and go, oh, both parties have cheated here, 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 and here. Because both parties cheat, both parties gerrymander, both parties voter suppress. That's a good point. Sparky, shave the knuckles for justice. Because of the Depression, FBR required attending school until 16 to keep teenagers busy, to keep jobs open for older people, not for education. That's debatable. I mean, that's debatable. And also, that's not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, that's not a bad thing. Majin Bull 17, shave your knuckles for justice. I support Bernie, but have no faith he'll surround himself with lefties. Describes Biden as a good friend of mine, but barely acknowledges Tulsi exists. I mean, I think that's a good point. I have some questions about people in Bernie's campaign, about working in his camp. I really do, because I see him do some stuff. And I sometimes with Tulsi too, like her not going to the debates, I wonder who's getting in there. And I'll say this, I have no concrete evidence of this. This is just my supposition here is, look, Bernie and Tulsi are threats to the ruling class establishment. They're threats to the war machine. They're threats to big pharma. They're threats to the oil lobby. They're threats to the corporate media. So I wouldn't doubt if they've tried to put people in their campaigns, they put plants or moles or whatever, because we know, look, we've had Susie Dawson put her stuff on this stream talking about the private intelligence community. So sometimes when I see certain decisions made by either one of them, I go, is that just a misstep, which anyone can do in a campaign? It's like a coach, for a professional team making the wrong call. Anyone can have a misstep, because who knows, nobody has a crystal ball. Or is that someone planted within their campaigns to try to derail and distract what they're doing? Because that's how the ruling class operates. We know this. We know how private intelligence works. That's the other thing, getting back to the Bernie Tulsi people fighting with each other. That is page 1 playbook of private intelligence, of just the intelligence community and the ruling class in general. Get inside an activist group, get inside a movement and try to divide it. They know how powerful Bernie and Tulsi together could be. They know how big their bases are together. I was at the Bernie rally yesterday. Huge, thousands of people. And there's people wearing Bernie and Tulsi hat, like a Bernie hat and a Tulsi shirt or a Tulsi sticker on a Bernie. Like I saw a lot of that, man. I also saw the most diverse group of people I've ever seen, like all different walks of life. It was unbelievable. So the divide and conquer is a tactic of the ruling class. They've done this. I've talked about this so many times. They've infiltrated labor movements. They've infiltrated everything. The early hippies in the 60s were radicals. They were revolutionaries. They were activists. Then they all start doing drugs and it's free love. Wow, what a fantastic distraction. When you understand their tactics, you see how they work. AOC was giving the speech yesterday, and this woman in the front held up a sign and started screaming in the middle of it. And AOC was like, yeah, I hear you. And she got a little sidetracked. And I always wonder, is that someone who's just an activist? Some activists are a little out to lunch sometimes and they yell and scream and don't realize, like, no, let AOC speak. Or I go, is that a private intelligence person that was hired to go there and disrupt this? So once we understand their tactics, we really can see how they operate. And it is, I asked that question of the people around, because they see Bernie rising. They know the numbers. They see he's got more individual donors than any politician in the history of America. They see that. They see Tulsi resonating. A Bernie Tulsi ticket everybody on the left would be on board with them. It would bring in libertarians and center right and the Republicans that voted for Trump as the lesser of two evils, but they're a little embarrassed by him. And it would get a decent percentage of those 100 million people that didn't vote into the polling. It would inspire those people that are like, my vote doesn't count, it's all rigged. Those people would go, all right, now I'm in. So I agree with you. And that's, again, the infighting on the left between actual left progressives, not the fakey left. Tell those people it's okay to disagree and it's okay to even have a debate. But don't treat someone, a lefty, a true lefty that has a great track record, don't treat them the way you would treat a Neera Tanden Hillary supporter or Trumper, like a diehard Trumper who's just like, Trump never lies. There's Trump supporters that come and watch the show, and I appreciate that. It's okay to have debates on the left and discuss and debate the best way to do things. But serious fighting and I'm blocking you and blah, blah, that only plays into the ruling class's hands. That's all it does. That's all it does. That's what they've always done. Divide and conquer. And they see the powerful movement on the left. They see all of these people getting together. People, my show, other people's shows, rallying people they saw that rally yesterday down at Venice Beach. They saw that. They saw what happened when AOC came on stage and people went nuts. They saw that. They know the numbers. So they got to try to divide and conquer. And getting Bernie and Tulsi supporters to fight with each other online, that's part of their tactic. Hit the like button and subscribe. Love the show, Graham. Do you think Bernie would pardon Assange if elected? I think yes, he would. He's not publicly saying it because I think it's a strategy. This is just my personal opinion, just how I've seen Bernie, because he just keeps hammering the same message over and over. He's not calling out of the DNC screwed him. He's not ever bringing up Hillary Clinton. He's not talking about how the Democrats screwed him over. And you may disagree with that strategy, but it is a calculated strategy. And I think defending Assange during this campaign, he has calculated, him and his people have calculated, and I kind of agree with it, is if I say publicly, I'm going to pardon Julian Assange, then all the neoliberal lefties will say, oh, Assange and WikiLeaks work for Russia, and Bernie helped, Putin beat Hillary, then all that, he opens the door to all that crazy talk. So I think ultimately, when he becomes president, he'll pardon Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning. I firmly believe that. I think he learned a lot from how they treated him in 2016. I think he learned a lot from how they treated him in 2016. That's my thought. Jedi Mullet 77, shave your knuckles for justice, Jedi Mullet. Just did a search. The wine hole is a mobile wine shop. Seriously, a wine cave is just a safe space for the fucking elite. A wine hole. Oh, man. God. Oh, God. Bernie did say you can't just have people who live in a wine cave. He brought up the wine cave thing yesterday, which was great. Got a big laugh. I went to a Bernie wine cave fundraiser. The cave, an abandoned train tunnel. The wine was Boone's Farm, and the fundraiser was to buy a second bottle of Boone's Farm. Nice joke. Oh, I'm glad you did a wine hole search. Annabelle Corley, what's up, Annabelle? Shave your knuckles for justice. Shave them down under. You got to rotate it the other way. Wishing you all a wonderful Christmas from Australia. And Graham, you're surfing Hawaii 5-0 Christmas sounds amazing. Enjoy, yes. I'm going to be surfing Christmas Day. Aw, snap. Yeah, and show Annabelle some love, and everybody down in Australia some love, because the fires are brutal and it's scary, and we need to pay attention. That's another thing you can do. Getting back to how serious it is. When you see somebody post these videos from Australia, put them out on your social media and say we need climate, we need a Green New Deal now. We need a real Green New Deal. Because if we think this, we've had horrible fires in California, and it can get worse, like they're having in Australia. We could have all of California and Nevada and Arizona and Colorado up in goddamn smoke, man. From July through September, October, we could just have the whole West Coast go up in smoke. So we have to, this is why we need a Green New Deal. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice. 3 Trump failures which Dems should run on. 2-tiered justice system. Hurting rather than helping Assange and Manning. Military-industrial complex. That's such a great point. The impeachment thing, in addition to being a complete distraction. So impeachment is such a distraction because, one, we're not talking about climate change. We're not talking about Trump and the Clintons and the Democrats and Republicans, all their ties to Epstein and Prince Andrew. We're not talking about the Afghanistan papers. Oh, what a weird thing we're not talking about. You mean this thing that shows that Bush, Obama, and Trump have been deliberately lying to keep us in the longest running war in American history that spent over $1 trillion? How come we're not having a Senate inquiry over that? Great point. And all the Democrats want to do is impeach. And what they should be doing is exactly what you're talking about. Bring up Trump's failure. I'll add some failures to this list. Bring up the fact that he gave a $1.5 trillion tax bailout to billionaires. That $1.5 trillion, that money, the single greatest transference of wealth ever, that is the amount of money student debt forgiveness would cost. So instead of giving billionaires another tax break, he could eliminate student debt. You know what that $1.5 trillion, that would be put back into the American economy. It is a comedy. Because imagine anyone out there with student debt, you're paying however many $100 a month to pay off your loan. Now you don't have to anymore. Oh, you could use that money to whatever. Buy a new car, get a new this, get a new that, invest in it, buy stock, whatever. Upgrade your business, buy anything. Now that 1.5 trillion just goes to the billionaires and it doesn't trickle down. I did a video on that. That top down never works. It's always, the wealth always trickles up. So that's what they should be arguing. They should say he ran on an anti-interventionist campaign and say he upped the troop count in Afghanistan. He pulled people out of Syria and then put them back there to guard the oil. He's buddies with the Saudi Arabians. That's what they should be doing. He's opened pipelines. He let Standing Rock happen. They should be running on all those things. But instead they just go impeachment, Ukraine. Hunter Biden's 50 grand a month, that was okay. But what Trump's doing, that's wrong. It's such a good point. Poppy cakes. Shave your knuckles for justice. Graham, please bring your tour to the UK. Oh, Ron and I have talked about that. We'd love to go to the UK. We will. Yeah, we absolutely will. We're going to really focus on the States in 2020 just because it's the biggest election in the history of all of our lives. But, we'll get there. I need some water. All right. 323 watching, 225 likes. Please hit the like button. Also, the Progressive Comedy Tour is coming near you. So go to grahamelwood.com for tour dates. January, we're going to Tucson and San Francisco. March, we're going to Orlando and Miami. We're going to lock down Tampa soon. April, we are going to Seattle and Portland. June, we're doing Nashville, Louisville, and Atlanta. Oh, snap. July, we're doing Chicago and Milwaukee. Come on now. Keep growing. Join us on the road. Portland show is going to be awesome. We'll see you up there, Backyard Politics. Everyone should read The Tyranny of Words. Stuart Chase, all right. Not familiar with that book. When everything coming out about Comey will finally was worse than Hoover. Yep. Sparky, thank you for supporting the show, Sparky. Jimmy Carter, who's monitored many elections around the world, said years ago the U.S. elections were too messed up to monitor effectively. Oh, it doesn't shock me at all. Yeah. We have this outdated election system, which is by design. Oh, we brought in electronic voting machines, which are hackable in 10 minutes. Like all this ridiculous stuff. We need so much reform, but it's doable. And you reform the election system. You reform the power grid. Do Green New Deal. All these people going to work. We save the planet. We put money in the algae that I've talked about, those machines, the algae that pull CO2 out of the air at a rate 400 times faster than trees. What Jill Stein talked about on this show, she said we could plant 1 trillion trees for $300 billion. That sounds like a lot of jobs in there. I don't know. Call me crazy. We do both. We do the tree thing. We do the algae thing. Kevin Gretzinger, Kevin, thank you so much for supporting the show. I know you also support me on Patreon. Thank you everybody too who supports me on Patreon. I really appreciate that. And everyone that supports me on Rockfin. My Rockfin numbers are growing. I'm over 4,000 followers on Rockfin. It's so cool. Whatever way you can support this show, I appreciate it. Hey, proud of what you do, man. Too many start with good intentions, then sell out. We need people like you to lead, be the catalyst for change. Too long have we allowed the elites to keep us divided. Together we stand, divided we have fallen so far. Absolutely correct. Bernie Tulsi 2020. Thanks, Kevin, for supporting the show, man. I really, really appreciate it. RBU 83145. RBU 83145. Shave your knuckles for justice. I'm sure you'd love to express deep felt sympathy for Morrison having to cut short his holiday because of Australia's being on fire. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I hear that guy say. All I heard was at all the shows Ron and I did was everyone was like, oh, Scott ScoMo's a jackass. Yeah. Don't let Australia follow in America's footsteps and go far right. Well, America's a far right, conservative, almost fascist country. We think we're all loosey-goosey freedom and democracy, and no, we're not. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice. One of Tulsi's greatest stances is election reform. Another great example of why Bernie Tulsi's fantastic. He's giving student forgiveness and Medicare for all. She's leading the charge on election reform and anti-interventionist wars. We're taxing billionaires. We're stopping giving subsidies to the oil lobby. We're taking trillions of dollars back that should be in taxes and tax breaks we've given the billionaire class. All that, man, it would fucking change overnight, man. The first year that they're in office would be like, wow, okay, look at this. There used to be a tent city there. Now there used to be this. We would just, yeah. Tisha Taylor. Thank you, Tisha. I really enjoy listening to you. Thank you for speaking the truth. I hope to become a patron member for 2020. Right on. Boom. So one of the things I do on Patreon is you get bonus content for as little as $5 a month. There's an audio level tier where you get early access to the audio bonus and stuff like that. I put my podcast up early. You get bonus video for $10 and $25. We can do a Skype chat. And if there's any like tiers I don't have that maybe some other content creators have that you're like, Graham, if you had this, I would do it. I'm open to suggestions. So that's my goal for 2020. Keep growing. We just passed 58,000 subscribers. Like I said, my Rockfin is growing. Everything's moving in the right direction. That's all because of you. So I'm going to keep doing this. I love speaking the truth. I love doing it. I love doing the live streams with Ron after the debates and all that stuff. So rock and roll. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice. Trump endorsed Pelosi, got nowhere with Paul Ryan. Yeah, I mean, I dropped that video, that interview with Wolf Blitzer from 2008, where Trump, who's just civilian business guy Trump, saying, he likes Pelosi, but he thinks she should have impeached George W. Bush for lying about Iraq. I did that video. Watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It shows you what it's really all about. Where are we at here? Closed borders. Do not agree with that at all. Jesus wouldn't build walls like that. We got to stop sanctioning. Here's what you want to do. Stop sanctioning the countries in Central and South America. Stop creating war. Stop supporting the drug cartels, which creates awful environments, which forces people to move. Nobody leaves their country because they want to. If you live and it's nice and you got good jobs and everybody's safe and your kids are safe, you're not going to like, oh, let's walk 1,000 miles to go somewhere else. You're not going to do that. So that's a ridiculous thing. If Bernie won, what has to be done for Pelosi to bend to a knee? Well, here's the thing I've talked about before. That's a great question because people ask that a lot. If Bernie wins, not only will he have the Republicans to contend with, but what about all these corporate Democrats? Joe Manchin, like that, it's Pelosi. This is where the Bernie supporters, the people that get Bernie elected, go, I'm voting the Pelosi's of the world out. Imagine if we had an actual progressive Congress and Senate, then all this stuff starts getting done. And you'll start to see that. You'll start to see that. And there's nothing they'll be able to do. Hold them accountable, vote them out, primary them. Get them in the primaries. That's what you got to do. That's a big key to this. And call them out when they vote again. That's why I did the videos about how the damn Democrats, during this impeachment nonsense, voted to approve Trump's military budget, which is $120 billion more than what Obama had. They voted to extend the Patriot Act. Pelosi's part of that. You got to call them out. You got to point to those facts. I would say stick to the facts. So that's a key. You help reveal to people in their districts and in their states, this is how they've sold us out. They say they're all resist, but they're not. And you say, we need somebody to really do it. That's how you do it. And I say this too. Let's say we have the Trump, or the, Trump's gone. We have the Bernie Tulsi, right? Bernie Tulsi, then Bernie's cabinet will be all progressive. It'll be Stephanie Kelton. It'll be, who knows? Jill Stein, it'll be whomever, like it'll be all, Nina Turner will be, it'll have all these progressive people in there. And then when you're president, man, look, the Republican Party did not want Donald Trump. They did not want him to get the nomination. But when you're president, you have a lot of levers. You have a lot of power. And Bernie can lean on some of these corporate Democrats and go, this is what we want. You better get in line with this. I mean, the president can do that. Within their own party, absolutely. So that's one way to do it. But it's a great question. Killer Mike for Secretary of Defense, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know much about Shahid Buttar, but I'd like to know more. Oh yeah, I feel like we've got some type of troll or a Trumper or something like that, or a private intelligence person trying to cause problems. The DNC intelligence agencies, mainstream media will not let a real progressive win. The only way is a yellow vest in 2020. Yeah, it might be true. Yeah, the system is broken. Two-party system is all done. Both have been hijacked. Yeah, I know. I think this is the last chance. Like Bernie and Tulsi are like the last chance. And if they don't get it, they get screwed over, then it's going to have to be like peaceful, nonviolent resistance of shutting stuff down. It's going to have to mean like a general strike where nobody goes to work. 150 million people just go nope and shut everything down. It's going to have to be something like that. Conservatives don't believe in science and technology. Yeah. Go to the Tohono or O'odham Nation. No, that ain't Irish. Okay. Okay, we gotta make it a nut joke. Okay. Hey, Stacy, you're making lunch, and I hope it's a healthy lunch. Here we go. Kevin Gretzinger. Kevin, thank you so much for supporting the show. 311 people watching, 265 likes. Hit the like button. Kevin said, we don't need to wait for them to back us. 1 trillion trees will trap 800 billion tons of carbon, convert to solar, employee-owned solar and wind factory, energy store and solve, saltwater batteries. Dude, that's why I love this show. Because you guys bring up all this stuff. Yeah, it's already, like, all of the solutions are, like, right here. We don't need, like, 20 years of research. It's all right here. You know? 1 trillion trees will trap 800 billion tons of carbon. And this is what I talk about. Yes, a Green New Deal and reversing climate change is one of the few places where we need a top-down. I'm all in favor of grassroots, but there's no reason we can't do both of what you say. We can all plant trees if we have access to that, or in our neighborhoods or in our backyards or whatever. We can all try to implement solar in we can petition our schools, on a local level, get more solar on a local, you know what I mean? Like your homeowners association, live in a condo, like all that, your park district, all that stuff. But the solutions are right there, man. I agree, Kevin. It's like, all what you just listed, we could do this overnight. We could do this overnight. Employee-owned solar and wind factory, energy store and solve, saltwater batteries. Yeah, I did that. That video about battery storage, and that's the one issue, but it's so solvable. Like you said, it's big and daunting to fight all these big corporations. I was talking to friends, like, how are you going to get Medicare for all the big pharmaceutical companies? You can't beat them. They're too big. They got too much money. I said, I agree with you, but that's what was said to every single person throughout history that accomplished something great. Hey, Gandhi, you're never going to get the English Empire to give up control of India. It's never going to happen. Hey, Susan B. Anthony, men have been in charge for thousands of years. You're never going to get women equality and the right to vote. It's never going to happen. FDR, depression, Hitler, you can't do this. Dr. King, we've had 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow laws and segregation. Man, I'm with you, but it's just too big. That's what you tell them. Throughout history, it's so fixable, it's so doable, and it can happen so quickly. Happy Zorro. Happy, thank you so much for watching the show. You're making Gotham great again. Thanks for the Jill Stein episodes. Yeah, it was really fantastic having her on the show. Hemp for victory, biofuels, hemp. Yeah, that's great. There's so, yeah. Every time we talk about this, I love it. You all bring up all this stuff. There's hemp. There's plastics made from cactus, which Happy Zorro, Jill Stein would love to hear all this. She's got all these great ideas from the Green Party. They're out there. They're happening right now. Just the United States federal government, the President Bernie and VP Tulsi saying, boom, we're making this happen. It would happen overnight. It would transform. And then you go to Russia and China, who consume and drill and use China's the #1 oil consumer in the world. Russia, that's one of their chief exports. They just made that pipeline. We stop the fracking, which causes fires and earthquakes. And we go, the leader, America takes the lead. President Bernie Sanders goes to China and Russia and say, hey, Enough with it. We're going to bring down the nuclear war. Let's all get off of oil together. Let's work together to figure this out. And they go, yes, we want in. Because they're doing their own research. They know their own citizens are dying. Look, in 2015, China said, we got to do something about our smog problem. And they spent $115 billion on solar and wind and solar. They did that overnight in 2015. They just said, we're going to do this. So it's all doable. And China can do MMT as well. China is a monetary sovereign, meaning they have their own currency. Like we have a fiat currency. So does China, so does Australia, so does a bunch of other countries. China, who has the biggest economy in the world, America won't report that, but they do, can go, boom, we're going to just pay for all this. We're done with coal. We're done with oil. It's so possible. Eric. But Graham, you can't make money off of common sense. Granny Petrol. Mo Money, what's up, Mo Money? Tulsi wants to fix the system that gives the problems Bernie wants to fix. Quick fixes without prevention only invites repeating same mistakes. Absolutely. Another great reason why they're so great together. Another great reason why they will fix stuff that will be like 20 years from now. We'll go, yep. The way people for decades went, yep, that was FDR did that. FDR fixed that. Social Security, all that. That's FDR. Oh, that's FDR. How'd we get on the moon? JFK started that whole, JFK did it. Right? I don't know why I made that noise. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice. Interviews waste time bringing up smears, but Tulsi totally understands the need for breaking up monopolies and trust and encouraging small businesses. Yep. Yeah, and that works so well together with Bernie's wanting to tax the billionaires and hold them accountable. You do both. You tax them and you break up the monopolies. You know, this country has a good history of breaking up monopolies. I remember when they broke up the airplane monopolies. There was only 2 or 3 airlines or something like that in the 80s. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm all for it. Christopher Dobby, boom. You're making Gotham great again. There's only one billionaire I allowed in the Batcave, and that's Bruce Wayne. Did you happen to notice these are Batman colors? I did. Thunderfoot said all humanity's energy use is 1/10,000th of what we receive from the sun. We could easily change with the right leadership. Yeah, I know. There's so much energy to harness from the sun. I also, and I've said this before, I was on a plane. I was flying out of Dallas, Texas a couple years back after a gig. And I sat next to this, or I was in this guy in the security line. And he had some like wind, he worked for a wind turbine company out of Texas. And he was on his way to the Dakotas. And I said, so what do you think about wind energy? He goes, there's enough wind in North and South Dakota to provide 60% of America's energy needs, just wind in those 2 states. And I said, what's holding us back? He goes, well, the money to put the turbines, to collect it, and then we need the money to update the grid, to store it. We've been talking about this, battery storage, and distribute it. Because our grid, as I did in that video, is so old. That our grid is so old. It's susceptible to hacking and problems. Look at what happened in Northern California because of PG&E. They hadn't updated their power lines, and that caused a fire, an awful fire. So that's part of the Green New Deal, part of the thing that would put a lot of Americans to work, a lot of union electricians, a lot of people working to update the grid, to store it, to make it more efficient. You bring up a great point. Petrodollar equals blood money. You got that right. Yeah, Yang doesn't support Medicare for all. Yang is like Ron calls him a tech libertarian. I think Yang is a really great moderate Republican. And if he ran in the Republican Party, I go, oh, he's a Republican I kind of like a little bit. But his solution is like, how are you going to? How are you going to do with climate change? Oh, just move everybody to higher ground and give them $1,000. Oh, good. Thanks, Andrew. Great. His Medicare plan, I did a video on this, is to the right of Joe Biden's. Or his health plan. He doesn't even call it Medicare for all. It's to the right of Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg. That tells you something. I go Bat Cave over Wine Cave. Can you address the current regime in Yusuro cutting power, water, and road access to Palestinian civilians in Gaza and the West Bank? The IDS is raping and killing Palestinians daily, yet the U.S. is silent. Yeah, it's pretty awful over there, man. I haven't followed as much of it as I would like to. I would really direct everybody to like Kim Iverson. She went over there, and the Empire Files, Abby Martin, has done great work covering this. Abby and Mike Preisner have a movie out, Gaza Fights for Freedom. That's a movie I would watch, and that's a movie I would push out on your social media to get people more up to speed on that. But you bring up an excellent point. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice. Most places with free college only have so many slots, so students need to stand out, though, where they'd get a scholarship in the U.S. anyway. Yeah, I did the video on the colleges in Europe and the free college, and I don't agree with that. I just want more people to be educated and not. We shipped away all the jobs, and immigrants didn't steal your jobs; billionaires did. And free college is a good thing. It's good for the whole population. A more educated society is better. Yes, we need to revamp the education system. But to just say I don't agree with that. I don't. Balthazar228, thank you for supporting the show. I thought the whole goal with Medicare for All was to eliminate private insurance as fast as possible. If they are kept for supplemental, how will they not lobby to reduce Medicare for All standards so they make money? That's a great point. My understanding is that, yes. Well, I don't know that the Medicare for All is to eliminate private insurance. I would like to see that happen. But I think it's to really get it. Right now, private insurance completely controls it. So Medicare for All is like, you get this free insurance through the government, and if you want, you can buy your own private insurance. Will they try to lobby? Of course they will. And that's a valid point to bring up, man. It is a completely valid point to bring up. They will absolutely try to do that. So, let me make this right. Who did I miss? So, yeah, it's a valid point. It's why I like Bernie's the most. And any sort of talking of private insurance makes me leery, because they just stand to lose the most money. Yeah. Majin Bull 77. 17. Majin Bull 77. Jesus, Majin Bull 17. Thank you for supporting the show. More Epstein vids? You cover it better than anyone. Yep, I will. There's more stuff I want to cover. I found out about, I forget this. I got to go back over the articles. There's some, but the FBI changed some laws right when he got busted, and where, and I'm getting more information on what happened to all of the seized evidence, and so I want to cover that. I'm not stopping the Epstein thing because it ain't going away. I'm going to keep talking about it. It was my understanding that Bernie's plan eliminates all private insurance except for elective procedures. That's my understanding too. I think that's correct. Balthazar says here, shaving for justice, making Gotham great again, Balthazar. I do wonder if keeping them in the system will just lead to having Medicare for all turn a high-risk pool and then removed for inefficiency. Look, man. We all know we don't trust private insurance. We all know them and Big Pharma have a lot of money to spend and stand the most to lose if Medicare for all goes through. All valid questions and concerns that you have. Look, if we have Medicare for all and it's great, and just rich people want to get better coverage, fine. They want to have insurance so they can get hair plugs or something like that, whatever. Sam Dean, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. So this is Christmas, Marlon Shatner. Yes. I was just thinking about a song because I got to go here. 307 watching, 301 likes. Balthazar 228. Thoughts on Jayapal's revision versus Bernie's, Balthazar 228. I'm not that familiar with that. I have to know more about it before I can comment on it. But thanks for supporting the show. Cool Blue 71. Merry Christmas, Graham. And all who are viewing this live stream. In case Graham doesn't have this live stream next Sunday, Happy New Year to everyone as well. Yeah, I'm going to be in Hawaii. I might do one next Sunday. I might not, because it might be surfing. If I do it, it might be a lot earlier in the day. Hawaii's 2 hours different. I don't know. I'm trying to just get a bunch of videos done and drop videos all week, and so I can just take a full week off and just. So we'll see. But maybe I'll do one with Ron. It's hard to say. Maybe I'll do one New Year's Eve, a New Year's Eve countdown show like Dick Clark. That'd be fun. So we'll see. Nadia Zaman. Hello, Nadia. You're making Gotham great again. Any unbiased news media sources you trust for polling data? Boy, that's tough. Boy, that's tough. That's really tough. That's a wow. I mean, I don't know. I try to look at the polling data and see who says it, and I've seen though 29 out of 30 polls put Bernie beating Trump head to head, right? And then there's like one poll that says Joe Biden, is going to win in the hair sniffing competition or whatever. So it's a tough. I wish that the fact that I don't have like a clear answer for you shows how shitty the system is. But thank you, Nadia, for supporting the show. Majin Bull 17, boom. Drone video showed a computer taken from Epstein Island before raided by FBI. Those drone videos really creep me out. Oh, that island is so creepy. It's so creepy. It's gnarly. Balthazar 228, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. How will Pelosi possibly manage to get her 951st facelift so she can continue to pretend to be human? If Medicare for all passes, she claims it's not elective. We should be worried about a woman worth $100 million, how she's going to pay for her plastic surgery. That should be the top priority for all of us. And I'm glad you brought it up. This is my serious face. All right, I'm going to sing here. I've been talking here for, I'm losing my voice, hour 24. Schultzy 100, season greetings. Happy holidays, brother. Right on. Sparky, Grandma's a shill for Big Algae. Look, Big Algae threw me one little party in an algae cave, and now you're all coming at me. I don't need your algae purity tests. Big Algae. Fantastic. Did I miss anybody? Let's make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sparky, just stuff to keep in mind. Free college is doable. No, I appreciate it, Sparky. And thank you for supporting the show. And this is like this kind of stuff, you bringing up these other sides to it and asking these questions. This is a good discussion and a good debate to have about it. To just say free college, but we should discuss the fine points of it. This is an absolutely good thing to discuss, man, and I appreciate it. So thank you. All right, so this is Christmas, which is a really beautiful song. It's an anti-war song, which is one of the reasons it's fantastic. This and the Simon and Garfunkel Silent Night, where the news reporter singing not singing, but talking in the background about all the wars happening around the world. That's another powerful anti-war song. So we're gonna do This Is Christmas as Marlon Shatner. I do. So those of you new to this, thanks to Sam Dean, our friend from Down Under, I typically end this live stream doing karaoke as William Shatner. So this is Christmas. John Lennon lyrics. Okay, here we go, everybody. You won't be able to hear it, but I will, just because of the... Oh, stop. So this is Christmas. And have you done? Another year over. A new one's just begun. And so this is Christmas. I hope you have fun. Near and the dear ones. The old and the young. A very Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. It's a good one. Without any fear. So this is Christmas. War is over. The strong few want it. Then the poor ones war is over. World is so young now. And so happy Christmas. War is over. White if you want it. But for the yellow and red ones, war is over. Let's stop all the fight now. Merry, Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one. Without any fear. So this is Christmas. War is over. If you want it, war is over now. So happy Christmas, war is over. Have fun if you want it. The dear ones' war is over. Old and the young. Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Those Klingon bastards, they killed my son, but we can find peace with the Klingons. And war is over if you want it. War is over if you want it. War is over now. War is over if you want it. John Lennon said that. Thank you, Sam Dean, for the beautiful message of peace and anti-war. I am an anti-war progressive. That's who I am. That's what this show is about. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for supporting everything we do. You guys are fantastic. Happy holidays, whatever you support, whatever you celebrate. I hope it says an anti-war progressive. Bernie Dolzy 2020, thanks for watching the show. I'll be dropping videos all through the holidays and hopefully send some footage from the beautiful show and shores of Hawaii. If I don't talk to you next, if I don't do a live stream next Sunday, we'll see you in the new year. Thank you so much for watching. One last troll to block as we wrap it up. So thank you so much for supporting the show. Bernie Tulsi 2020, you're making Gotham great again. Shave your knuckles for justice, everybody. War is over if you want it.